First of all, we are all seeing across all of the numerous platforms that we are on that there are thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of anti-whites. Some of them are celebrities. Some of them are mutants from sewers somewhere in America, are all promising vigorously to fight Donald Trump every single step of the way at every level that you can imagine. They look out at the world and they say, massive vote for Donald Trump, wins 300 plus electoral college votes, wins the popular vote by far, crushes Kamala, come swallow a Harris, crushes her. And their response is a religious response. That's what we need. Their response is a ideological religio response, that their faith is going to drive them forward, that it's not time for a genuine reevaluation of the positions they hold, of the way they think about people, not even just, well, and this is what you see from most conservatives, is get them next time, like it's a fucking softball game. This is our lives. This is our children at 6 years old being taught to masturbate in class so that they can be sexualized and then fuck their teachers by the subsequent year. Okay, totally unthinkable. Just a generation ago. What is a generation to come? What is 10 years to come? Get them next time? Fuck yourself, all right? We need the same exact energy that the anti-whites have. And you can only do it by the go-free white positivity that you can learn in this book right here. And the spirituality that can be applied to every religion and no religion is found in Prometheus Rising, Take Back Your Destiny. We have sacralized our resistance. And if we do not move to embrace it fully as a people, as a race, and become a people, there isn't a chance. There isn't a hope in hell. So tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of religious fanatics, anti-white religious fanatics are saying at every single level that they are going to fight Donald Trump every God-blessing bloody inch of his final term. Every single inch. You have females and males, but primarily female anti-whites showing up. And again, I've got to point out, if you are calling anti-white females Karens, I want you to punch yourself in the face vigorously until either you have no teeth left, I can help you out there, until you have no teeth left, or you finally knock some sense into your head and you stop using anti-white slurs on our people. They are anti-whites. You could say anti-white bitch. You can say anti-white breed sow. You can say anti-white pig. I don't care. You just have to call them anti-white, not Karens, you dumb SOBs. I'm tired of seeing that, but you're seeing these females and some males as well, or probably just females of both sexes. And they've already started a number of movements, haven't they? All in opposition, all to create solidarity. The 4B movement, a South Korean movement, which, by the way, keep your South Korean movement of South Korean women who don't want to have sex with South Korean men. Keep it over there, and you all can suffer that shit. But now the 4B movement is being adopted by females, anti-white females, not only in America. We're seeing videos across the West, anti-white saying the same thing. The blue bracelet movement to signal. So yeah, the 4B movement is about punishing men. Let me just say about this, primarily with the females. What do you see them doing? Because there's education there. There is something to learn if you have the brain to learn it. If you're not just another automaton out there who's just, where's my conservative news? And I'll just repeat. If you're going to think for yourself, there's something to learn there. These females are going out. And what's the first thing they're doing? Well, number one, you're seeing the signaling of religious fanatics. The crying, the screaming, the tearing at their the rending their garments. This is all to signal solidarity, to signal that they are faithful believers of anti-whiteism, that they are suffering for the victims in the anti-white narrative. So many people are missing this. So many people are looking at this and they're just like, well, God, they're just crazy. God, there's a mental health issue. The conservatives leadership never learns. And conservative people, they never learn either. They just keep hearing them say the same shit over and over, and they don't take anything away from it. Like, maybe there's something more to this. Maybe there is some power that they are wielding there that we need to emulate rather than mock. Could you imagine if our side, when we lost, if our side, when horrible things happened, we rended our clothing? Look at that energy. Look at that fanaticism. Those are people that get things done. You hear the Democrats are saying, well, they're controlled by their most radical members. No shit. But somehow the Republicans, they're not controlled by their most radical who will vote for them, because the most radical that will vote for them are just going to bitch and sit back and watch pornography and say, we'll get them next time. Wins the softball game. No shit, the Republicans aren't motivated by the radical members of their electorate. But the Democrats are, because look at these motherfuckers. So there is power in what they're doing. That is an energy, that is an emotive energy that we need to have. If you're looking at me and you're like, why is this guy so mad? Fucking get into a hot bath. You know what to do. Get into a hot bath. You've served your purpose. You know what to do. Take a bath. Because you are the one who is defunct. You are the one who is not working properly. You are the one who has the problem. You are the one who is diseased. Why is he so mad? Why is that guy so animated? They're just teaching our 6-year-olds to masturbate. What's the problem? Why is he so mad? Yeah. Defective. You are defective. What do we do with things that are defective? You have your marching orders. Getting sick of this. So there, with that big energy, that's a manifestation of it. And they're signaling their fealty to anti-whiteism with the screaming and the crying and the etc. That's what they're doing. What else are they doing? Especially when it comes to the females. They are exercising their first and second most powerful tool of manipulation over men. Look at what you did to me. I'm sad. You've done this to me. I'm sad. And Western civilization has, unfortunately, a long time ago, white guys said, you know what, females, they're dumb and they're weak. They break really easy. So we should kind of handle them like children. And where they go wrong, we can be logical. They'll listen to reason. Well, guess what? They weren't able to listen to reason, were they? They weren't able to listen to reason. The vast majority of them, or the majority of them, not able to listen to reason, not able to be logical. So this is one of the tools. So we've been deferential to females, and this is one of the immediate tools. I'm crying and I'm sad, and you did this. Now you have to do what I want because you made me sad. You know what we need to say? Fuck you. I don't care how sad you are. This deference to females in the West is dead. It is done. And from now on, if like I just watched a video of a white guy, I think it's in Eastern Europe, and a white female steals a chair from his teenage son. And he goes to get the chair from this woman. And she's not going to give it up. He physically pulls it away from her. Then she starts punching him. So he knocks the bitch out. That's what we got to have again. Now we're going to have some respect. Now we're going to get some respect in this house. Deference is over to females. Now you're going to give some respect. So look at what you made. I said it before. I've been saying it for decades. This power that females wield in Western civilization has to come to its end. The ability to get upset at the dinner table, and then everyone else at the dinner table says, oh my God, we're going to make it better for you. What can we do for you? What can we do now for you? Okay, I'll stop. You want me to stop breathing? Okay, I'll stop breathing for you. Okay? I'll be a good brother, a father. I'll be a good uncle. I'll be whatever it takes. I'm going to be good for you. And I won't breathe anymore because it's making you sad. That's done. That's too much power. Teenage son cry at the table and everybody's like, what the, you little, see? What the, toughen up. Female cry, everybody's got to make it better for her. No more. Go to your room, cry in your pillow, shove your ugly face in your pillow and cry it out. Take your fat ass with all that cellulite into your bedroom and go cry it out. We don't give a shit anymore. No more power. No more deference. So that's what they're doing. You're seeing it everywhere. The second most powerful tool. Oh, you've done this to me. Now, here's the thing you got to understand. Anti-whites are going to be using that against us. And there are going to be many guys who are going to capitulate because old ways die hard. So here's what we have to do. When this guy knocked that bitch out and she went sleeping, let me tell you, she went sleeping. Don't go punching a guy in the face or in the head anymore, ladies. You probably be sent sleeping. All right, that bitch is still, rumor has it, that bitch is still sleeping. If white guys, or any guys for that matter, decide they're going to simp up and go get in the guy's face, all the rest of the guys have to go kick the living shit out of. If it comes to that, I don't want any fighting. If it comes to that, even though I don't want any fighting, they need to get in the faces of the simps and say, sit your ass right down. Deference to women is over. That weak link to anti-whiteism is broken. Do you understand? The weak link to anti-whiteism, broken. Done. So that first tool, crying. Look at what you did to me. The second tool, the most powerful one they wield. No sex for you. No sex for you. I think we need to pass a law that when a wife decides no sex for you because you're not obeying me, that it'll be legal for the husband to go get pussy elsewhere. And she can't divorce him for it. She won't be able to, there'll be no revenge, no legal recourse. Get it down. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody can record. Oh, no sex? No sexuality in the relationship? All right. It's recorded. Now we get to move on. So you get to see firsthand in all of this aftermath, you get to see firsthand the two most powerful tools that females get to wield in the West, but no more. They've got to come to an end. So we got the 4B, you don't get to have sex anymore. Not going to talk to you. Not going to have anything to do with you. And of course, the conservative content creators are totally missing the point. And they're like, well, I guess they won't be able to have abortions anymore. Shut your goofy looking, flimsy bodied, small dicked asses up. We're sick of hearing from you cucks. It's time for the radicalization. The opportunity for the radicalization is now. And what's the radicalization? No more victimizing white people. We talk about white well-being. We talk about white people. We say the name of the white race. We say white people. We say Westman. We say Western kind. 4B movement. Blue bracelet movement. We're seeing all over the globe on the internet now. They're buying bracelets. They are. What is the blue bracelet? I'm safe. You can talk to me. We're commiserating. They are signaling to each other. The fight continues with the blue bracelets. Ever seen conservatives? We'll get them next time. Golly jeepers, Wally. Ever see them do anything like this? What else are we seeing? The safety pin movement showing up all over. Hundreds of thousands of people saying they're going to put a safety pin on. Essentially a bunch of the same meanings as the blue bracelet that we're seeing. But not only that, there's another movement. Aqua Tana. Aqua Tana movement, make Aqua Tana great again. Coming out of anti-white females everywhere. What is Aqua Tana, you ask? I think it's a 1700s Sicilian woman, Julia Tafana, I think her name was, and she was responsible, the history states, for killing more than 600 men by giving out a poison that they would then pour in the libations, the food of the men in their lives, that these foul witches, that these get on the stake, bitch, witches, wanted to murder because he wasn't being obedient. Now, of course, the females are going to say because he was abusive, but lack of obedience is abuse in the female mind. So now you have this make Aqua Tana great again movement showing up everywhere. What are the kind of people that are saying, if a white guy and nothing's happening, why is nothing happening? Why are they able to talk like this? Why is this able to get legs? If a white guy said, let's poison all the women who don't obey us, all of his accounts would be lost immediately. The police would show up at his house immediately. He would be charged immediately, even if they had to dilate from here to the moon, the laws to rope him in, and he would go to prison. Why is that? Because the social morality is anti-whiteism. It is the anti-white moral imperative. And until you address that, it doesn't matter how many Donald Trumps, or it doesn't matter how many Susie Wileses you put in, you are losing. You are getting defeated. We need to be so motivated as for the other side to say, holy fucking shit, they're crazy. Holy fucking shit, they are out of their minds. We need to be that motivated. We need to be that impassioned. Absolutely. What else is going on? Get ready for the false flags. Get ready for the false flags. Why? Because people who are impassioned and emotional and they have a religio ideology that motivates them to their triumphs, they will easily everywhere engage in false flag operations. So get ready for the hate hoaxes. And you better learn hate hoax, and you better use hate hoax, or I will personally kick your ass. You can come to DC, we'll get together, and we'll have a full contact conversation. Because I'm sick of things going downhill. I'm sick of watching all of these celebration at the greatest point of our defeat as a people and country. And we'll talk more about that. So get ready for the hate hoaxes. Women are going to be attacked. Blacks are going to be attacked. Jews, get ready for the Jews. Get ready for the Jews. There are going to be some hardcore hate hoaxes when it comes to Jews. Get ready for the black preachers burning down their churches. Get ready for the Jewish rabbis or members of the synagogue writing out in front of the street. And I am referencing actual crimes from the past, things that were literally done. And I'm just saying, get ready for it to happen again. Writing all over the street, Hitler's come for you. Hitler's come. And then they look at the surveillance footage from the camera at the stoplight, and they're like, holy shit, look at the plate on the car. The people getting out of the car that are spray painting everything. Get ready for that. Get ready for the Jewish student in the sorority to have the Jews should get, and then chambers. And then that footage from that hallway in the sorority to finally be admitted to by the university. Oh, it's actually the girl who lived in that room who wrote that on her door. And she's Jewish. How about the black guy in the Air Force? How about the black guy in the Air Force that had written all over his door, enter, go home. We don't want you here in the Air Force. And then that absolute loser of a general, the white loser, calls the entirety of the camp before him to browbeat and lynch with the suspicion, drawing the noose of suspicion around every white person's throat. How you're not going to be racist in this place here. This is my base, and if you're racist here, we're gonna. Whose morality is that, by the way? The racism. Is that written into? Is that law and code of the Air Force, of the Uniform Military Code of Justice? It probably is now. Just like it's in the church now. Just like it's everywhere now. Anti-whiteism has won. Do you remember that? Do you remember that bitch? Came up and he dragged them all. And I told you all it was the black guy himself. And then what ended up happening? And YouTube pulled one of my fucking videos down for that. And it ended up being the black guy. It ended up being the black guy himself that did it. Admitted it. Because he was failing out. Exactly what I said in my video. I said he's probably failing out. And he wants a way to save face to his family. He didn't even mean it to get this big. He just wanted to be able to go to the family and say they're all racist. It's not because I wasn't, trying my hardest. Now, at YouTube, and who else took my video down on that? That other one in New York that eventually kicked me off the platform altogether. And they were the only platform that honestly said to me, you're not allowed to be on our platform if you care about white people. The only one. Where are we? Tish James in New York, another force against Trump, promising to continue the lawfare to undermine Donald Trump. Every jot and tittle, every step of the way. We have marches. Chicago, New York, immediately. You actually have anti-white interlopers, anti-white intruders screaming in Spanish on the streets of we should immediately have just put them all in chains. Put them all in chains and drag their brown asses back to wherever they came from. Screaming it, you're not going to send us home. Want to fucking bet? Screaming in New York as they get benefits, except the food they don't get anymore, thanks to the mayor, Adams, screaming about how you ain't going to send us home. You know how America should handle interlopers coming into thieves, criminals coming into our country. We should handle them the exact same way that, Israel handles interlopers breaking into the country. Maybe how Saddam Hussein handled interlopers. I would bet that they didn't go out into the streets and they're like, you ain't going to do nothing to us, damn it. You're going to keep feeding us. You're going to keep paying us. You're going to make us citizens. Saddam would find a 3-4 story building and then see if evolution is true. And we'll just keep tossing them off until when does evolution kick in? So you got marches already promising to fight Donald Trump every step of the way. What's going to happen with all this Trump support when Trump immediately encounters resistance, opposition on social issues? What's going to happen? It's going to evaporate. The support is fugitive. I'm using the word fugitive. It's perfect for this because of what it connotes, the criminal, doesn't it? It connotes the criminal. And that's what these people are. The economic Trump voters. They're criminals. Because when it comes to the social changes that need to be made to this country to end the victimization of Western kind and good non-white people of all races as collateral damage of that victimization of Western kind, the social changes that need to be made, the economic Trump voters are immediately going to pull back. And these are going to be economic Trump voters who are billionaires, centimillionaires, decamillionaires, and the guy next door. Maybe even your spouse who said, I want Trump because of economic considerations. They're immediately going to say, whoa, I didn't sign up for the racism I didn't sign up for the prejudice. I didn't sign up for all this. And what words are they going to be using? What morality, what moral measuring stick are they going to be using? Am I right or am I right? Is this the beginning of the reclamation of America because the new Republican Party is now in office? Or do the radicals have to kick the door in? You know damn well and good that the support from the economic Trump voters is fugitive. It'll be gone in an instant. Gone in an absolute instant. What about the support? So many of the non-white supporters of Donald Trump, the non-white voters for Donald Trump, what's going to happen with them the moment that the presence and the threat of more non-white people being brought into their communities and therefore a challenger for the benefits that are evaporating because of them and a challenger for the jobs that they are working. What's going to happen once that threat is removed? These non-white, maybe we'll call them enclaving Trump voters, these non-white enclaving Trump voters, it's going to disappear. It's going to be fugitive, just like all the rest. The moment that they hear that Trump is doing something that's going to benefit white people and the threat of more blacks or more. So if you go to the black community in Chicago that voted Trump, the ones there that voted Trump, and they voted Trump because Hispanics and other blacks and Asians and everything else were being brought into Chicago and they were soaking up the benefits. They were using up the welfare. They were using up the WIC. They were using up, etc. And they were now competing for the jobs and compete in where the mestizos in Chicago who used to be able to go and undercut Whitey, who's working as a union or whatever it is, putting on tiles on roofs, and they used to be able to go in there and undercut and get the work. They now are being undercut. What happens when they won't be undercut anymore and they hear that Trump is going to do something that is going to benefit white people as well? Gone. Support will be gone. And they're immediately going to join the ranks, along with the economic Trump voters of all of the aforementioned that I just said. So if you've been taking notes or you're bright enough to be in this class, then you're going to say, wow, that's a big group that suddenly gets a lot bigger, much more momentum against Donald Trump, much more opposition immediately against Donald Trump. What else is undermining Donald Trump? Susie Wiles, this desire to receive plaudits as measured by the anti-white morality. Going to have the first female. He was first female this, first female that, first black this, first Hispanic that, first gay this, his first term. How much did it help him? Of course it doesn't, because he's not anti-white enough. He has to be at war with the white race, especially if he's a white male. Absolute war. But now, well, he's going to have the first female chief of staff. In an era when we need Erwin King Rommel as the chief of staff, we get Susie Wiles, a conservative, a lobbyist, a swamp creature. I mean, forgive me. If she ends up being totally amazing, maybe everything that's reported on her is totally wrong. Maybe she's going to show up and she's going to be, we're going to call her, Wiley Wiles, because she just cuts through all the anti-whites. I don't know. I doubt it. But I'm open. I'm open to it. I'll make friends with her if she's going to rock for the white race. I doubt it. I doubt she's going to rock for us. I think she was a lobbyist from the swamp, old school cuck type who got all bent out of shape when Donald Trump said some of his radical things. Apparently she got all bent out of shape when he made the comment about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. She got all bent out of shape about that because She's concerned. She apparently works what she did well. She worked back in 2016. She worked for I think in 2016 and 2020 for Trump in Florida. Kicked ass for him there because of the anti-white environment that we live in. Co-chairs the national campaign. Kicks ass for him there. What is she concerned with? Obeying anti-whiteism. That's what she's concerned with. That's what she's demonstrated. Now, again, if she's going to come out and she's going to rock it somehow magically, she's going to pull off her outfit, and underneath she's going to be a heavy set dominatrix, and she's going to have a fucking cape on and a riding crop, and she's going to be like, we're running the show now. Maybe that's going to I doubt it. Instead, I'm going to go with the evidence, and that she's hyper concerned, like every other conservative and so many women, white women, with what everybody else thinks. Every guy has dated a female or married a female or dated every female he dated where they were just overly concerned about what everybody else thinks. Can't even go to a restaurant. Can't even walk by total strangers and say an opinion that doesn't conform to anti-whiteism without the female saying, shh, no, be quiet with that. Don't let them hear that. That's what we're going to end up with Susie Wiles. You want to know the biggest indictment against Susie Wiles? Jeb fucking Goofy Bush remarked that was an amazing selection by Donald Trump. Jeb Bush. You can't get more cuck of a cuck-servative. You absolutely cannot. You can literally visualize Jeb Bush giggling and eating Doritos, watching a string of other men cuck him out with his wife. And this guy's like, yeah, best pick that Trump could have made. You needed to hear from Jeb Bush that, wow, this is the end of America by the individual that Trump picked. And that's not the end of it. Finally, I'm so fired up today because of all the news, all the things coming in. We get to the traitor, Mitch McConnell. You see, the anti-whites are in both parties. Republican Party has to appeal to a largely white electorate. Increasingly less. But increasingly less. So they get to be a little bit anti-white light, but they still have radical anti-whites in their midst, including Mitch McConnell, Speaker of the Senate. He's retiring, and he decided that he is going to undermine Trump in year one, which is going to be the only year that Trump's going to be able to do anything. 1 year he gets, and Mitch McConnell is undermining it. This piece of shit. This absolute skin suit on a skeleton piece of anti-white shit. Instead of waiting for this new Republican majority Senate to be seated and then to decide who will be the majority leader out of all of these new Republican voters, he wants to vote right now. He wants to vote right now while the Democrats still control the Senate. Imagine this. Why? So that the only Republican that could possibly get selected for the leader of the Senate is that guy from Florida. He would be the best. And he is not hot on Trump. He just doesn't hate Rick Scott. He's not hot on Trump. He just doesn't hate Trump. Why is that position important? Because whoever is in charge can decide what votes go to the floor. So no matter what Trump wants, no matter what the Republicans in the Senate want, the guy in charge is the fulcrum. The person in charge is the fulcrum, and they can stymie everything. That is exactly what Mitch McConnell wants. But what are the odds that Rick Scott with a Democrat-dominated Senate is going to win. The Democrats aren't going to vote for Scott. No, it's going to be one of the other Republican options that are going to be Cornyn, I think is one of the other ones that are, and Thune, South Dakota and Texas. It's going to be one of them, and they both are never Trumpers. They hate Trump. They are not going to work with Trump. So you'll have a Republican majority in Senate, but with the most critical point of it, the most critical juncture, controlled by anti-whites, and can stymie everything that Trump wants to do in year one. It won't matter how many complaints, it won't matter how many, because they'll have the power to stymie things, just as Mitch McConnell has stymied things moving forward or from the past. Let's go ahead and pull up this piece of news and take a look at it. Tucker Carlson brought this to light. Tucker Carlson angrily accuses Senate Republicans of plotting coup against Donald Trump. Former Fox News host and Trump ally Tucker Carlson claimed Senate Republicans, and talk about an ally, talk about these people that are the Trump allies. Do you remember that Tucker Carlson had emails that were released to the public where Carlson hated Trump and he can't wait to get rid of Donald Trump? These are his allies. Voice of Reason said, told that Trump is getting rid of Mitch McConnell. Mitch is retiring, and he'll have his replacement voted in by Democrats before the Republicans are seated. Said Voice of Reason. Tucker Carlson said the Senate Republicans are staging a coup against Donald Trump as 3 senators vie to replace Mitch McConnell. Republicans claimed control of the Senate on Tuesday night, leaving the door open to someone to replace Mitch McConnell, the chamber's longest-serving party leader, who plans to step down at year's end. At least 3 Republicans are vying for the top spot: John Cornyn of Texas, Rick Scott of Florida, and John Thune of South Dakota, who serves as the Senate Minority Whip. NBC News reported, and Carlson took issue with 2 of them. Quote, "What the hell is going on in the U.S. Senate?" Again, this is a consequence of hero hoping. And you don't want to hero hope. The white race has to get over hero hoping. You're not going to get somebody, and this is a deep disease. It goes deeper than just, I hope Trump wins. It grows out of a seriously pernicious notion that you can put somebody in charge and they fix everything. Everything can get better because they got the power to fix everything. Midwits think this dumb. Midwits think this dumb. The power is in the context. It's in the matrix. It's in the substrate. It's in the entities that compose the toto. That's where the power is. What moves these automatons? What is their social morality? Wake up, conservative movement. Wake up, Republican voters. There is no leader that can fix this. You have to adopt a white positive morality to defeat the anti-white moral imperative in society. You have to do this. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care how scary it is. I don't care how immoral it feels. The fact that it feels immoral to you is the demonstration and proof that I am right and that you never have a snowball's chance in hell. Stop this. No more hero hoping. He's going to be stymied at every step of the way. And we're only touching upon the surface of all of the possibilities of that. What the hell is going on in the U.S. Senate? Carlson posted on X on Saturday afternoon. After Trump won, Mitch McConnell engineers a coup against his agenda by calling early leadership elections in the Senate. 2 of the 3 candidates hate Trump and what he ran on. So two of the 3, the ones the Democrats in the Democrat-controlled Senate will obviously vote for, hate Trump and everything he stands for. That's what Mitch McConnell is doing. Piece of shit. What an absolute traitorous piece of shit. God, some things I could say. The former Fox host took particular issue with Cornyn, who he summarized as, quote, an angry liberal whose politics are indistinguishable from Liz Cheney's. So another liberal means anti-white. Cheney is a former who was just out on the campaign trail with Kamala Harris. Cheney is a former Republican congresswoman from Wyoming turned Trump critic. She campaigned for Kamala Harris, described this comparison as completely off base, she says. Who cares? The election will take place on Wednesday, November 13. It will be Wednesday, November 13. It will determine whether or not the new administration succeeds, Carlson wrote. Rick Scott of Florida is the only candidate who agrees with Donald Trump. Call your senator and demand a public endorsement of Rick Scott. Don't let McConnell get away with it again. So there you have it. I mean, it's all there for everybody to see. It's all there for everybody to see. Excuses are not going to be good enough. Excuses when the second grade teacher is fucking your second grader because in first grade he was taught to masturbate by the first grade teacher, saying, well, gosh, blang it, that Mitch McConnell stymied Donald Trump, and what are we supposed to do? I told you what you're supposed to do.